Every few months, there is a new trend that promises faster fat loss, better muscle gain, and less effort. Keto, fasting, low carb, high carb, vegan, detoxes, and maybe superfoods. Most people are focusing on the things that matter the least. The fitness industry often survives by convincing people that they are one missing hack away from transformation. And that's exactly why the Eric Helms Nutrition Pyramid is one of the most useful frameworks in fitness nutrition. So in this video, I'm going to break down the entire nutrition pyramid bottom to top. Once you understand that, you stop getting distracted by every new trend on social media. You stop chasing magic. You stop searching for the perfect diet, and you start focusing on what actually moves the needle. Here is the reality. Everyone wants to know the best diet: keto, fasting, low carb, high carb, vegan, detoxes, and maybe superfoods. Every few months, there is a new trend that promises faster fat loss, better muscle gain, and less effort. But here's the problem. Most people are focusing on the things that matter the least. They're arguing about seed oils while overeating every day. They're buying fat burners while sleeping 4 hours a night. They're obsessing over meal timing while barely eating enough protein. And that's exactly why the Eric Helms Nutrition Pyramid is one of the most useful frameworks in fitness nutrition. Because instead of asking, what's the perfect diet? It asks what matters the most. This pyramid helps you prioritize. And honestly, that's the biggest problem in the fitness industry right now. People are overcomplicating nutrition before mastering the basics. So in this video, I'm going to break down the entire nutrition pyramid bottom to top. What actually matters, what most people waste time on, and how to use this framework, whether your goal is fat loss, muscle gain, performance, or simply better health. Let's start with the foundation. Level 1, we've got energy balance. The first and the most important layer of the pyramid is energy balance. Calories in versus calories out. This is the foundation, not supplements, not meal timing, not carb cycling, not detox teas. Energy balance. If your goal is fat loss, you need a caloric deficit, meaning you consume fewer calories than what your body burns. If your goal is muscle gain, you generally need a slight caloric surplus, meaning you consume more calories than what your body burns. And if your goal is maintenance or long-term health, you need an intake that roughly matches your output. Simple concept, extremely difficult execution. Now the moment people hear this, they think, so calories are all that matters. No, calories are not all that matter, but they matter first. That's the difference. You cannot biohack your way around energy balance. You cannot intermittent fast your way around overeating. You cannot drink bulletproof coffee and somehow escape basic physiology. The body still follows the law of thermodynamics. And honestly, understanding this is liberating because it stops you from chasing magic. A lot of people spend years jumping from one diet to another when the real issue is simply that they were eating more than they realized. Now, of course, calorie tracking is not mandatory forever. Some people can use portion control, some people use habits, some people naturally regulate intake, but awareness does matter. Most people dramatically underestimate how much they eat, especially liquid calories, snacks, weekend eating, and mindless eating. So before you obsess over advanced strategies, ask yourself, do I actually understand my calorie intake? Because if this layer is not in place, the rest of the pyramid becomes significantly less important. Alright, level 2, macronutrients. Once energy balance is handled, the next layer is macronutrients, protein, carbs, fats. And among these, protein is the king. Especially if your goal involves fat loss, muscle retention, muscle building, recovery, or performance. A high-performance diet helps preserve lean muscle mass during a calorie deficit. It improves satiety, it supports recovery, and it helps optimize body composition. Most active individuals are probably under-eating protein, especially in India. A lot of people think they eat enough protein because they had some dal, a little paneer, or maybe 1 scoop of whey. But when you actually calculate your intake, it's often far below optimal. For most people, training consistently, a good target is somewhere around 1.6 to 2.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. And no, more protein does not automatically damage healthy kidneys. That's one of the most persistent myths in nutrition. Now let's talk about carbohydrates. Carbs are not evil. In fact, carbohydrates are one of the best fuel sources for high-intensity training. If you train hard, sprint, lift weights, play sports, or do hybrid style training, carbs support performance. Low carb diets can work for fat loss, but not because carbs are uniquely fattening. Usually, because reducing carbs helps some people reduce calories. That's an important distinction. And fats? Fats are essential. Hormone production, cellular health, vitamin absorption, brain function. The mistake happens when people turn nutrition into extremes. Carbs are bad, fat is bad, insulin is the enemy. Nutrition is rarely that black and white. The real goal is balance and sustainability. Can you consistently hit your calorie target? Can you consistently hit your protein target? Can you fuel performance and recovery? Can you maintain this without feeling miserable? Because the best diet on paper is useless if you cannot sustain it. Now, at level 3, we've got micronutrients, which means vitamins and minerals. This is where overall food quality starts becoming important because technically, yes, someone could lose weight eating only processed junk food in a calorie deficit, but that doesn't mean it's optimal for health, recovery, energy, digestion, or long-term performance. Micronutrients support immune function, recovery, bone health, hormonal health, energy production, and hundreds of other physiological processes. This is why fruits and vegetables do matter. This is why dietary diversity matters. This is why eating like an adult matters. Most people are trying to supplement their way out of poor diet. But your basics still matter the most. Eat enough fruits, eat enough vegetables, get your fiber, have quality protein sources, include whole foods regularly. Now, notice something important here. Micronutrients are below meal timing and supplements in the pyramid, meaning food quality matters more than nutrient timing. Food quality matters more than supplements, and yet most people do the opposite. They spend their money on BCAAs, fat burners, green powders, and pre-workouts while barely eating vegetables. That's like upgrading the paint job on a car with no engine. At level 4, we've got nutrient timing. Now let's move into the section that fitness influencers love arguing about. When should you eat? How many meals? Should you eat carbs at night? Should you train fasted? Do you need protein immediately after training? Here is the reality. Meal timing matters, but it matters far less than total calories and macros. That is the key. If you eat perfect pre-workout and post-workout meals, but your overall intake is poor, you will not magically get great results. Now, for athletes or advanced trainees, nutrient timing can provide a small edge. Having protein distributed across the day can support muscle protein synthesis. Eating carbs around training can improve performance. Eating before training can improve output. But these are refinements. These are not foundations. For the average person, consistency beats optimization. And one of the biggest nutrition myths is that there's a tiny anabolic window where your gains disappear if you don't drink a protein shake within 30 minutes after training. Your body is not that fragile. Yes, protein after training is useful, but total daily protein intake matters far more. Another thing people overcomplicate is meal frequency. Some people prefer 3 meals, some people prefer 5. Some enjoy intermittent fasting, and that's okay. Choose the structure that helps you stay consistent. A lot of nutrition success is behavioral. The best nutrition strategy is often the one that fits into your lifestyle, your schedule, your social life, and your psychology. Not the one that sounds the most hardcore online. And finally, level 5. At the top of the pyramid, we've got supplements, the smallest layer. Now, this is important. Just because supplements are at the top of the pyramid does not mean they are useless. It simply means they work best when the foundation layers are already in place. Supplements can absolutely be helpful. In some cases, they can improve convenience, performance, recovery, or help fill nutritional gaps. But they are most effective when combined with solid training, nutrition, recovery, and consistency. Now, there are a few evidence-based supplements that genuinely have strong support behind them. Creatine monohydrate, probably one of the most researched and effective supplements for strength, power, recovery, and muscle performance. Protein powder. It's not really magic, but an incredibly practical and convenient way to increase protein intake, especially for busy people. Caffeine, well supported for improving alertness and training performance. Electrolytes can help during long training sessions or in hot climates. Omega-3s may help if dietary intake is low. Vitamin D can be valuable for individuals with low exposure or deficiency. The supplement industry has also evolved massively over the years. There are genuinely good brands today investing in research, quality control, better formulations, and educating customers. The key is understanding expectations. Supplements are usually the final 5 to 10%, not the first 90%. And honestly, that's a good thing because it means most people can make incredible progress even before worrying about advanced supplementation. The mistake happens when people expect supplements to compensate for poor recovery, inconsistent training, low protein intake, or uncontrolled calories. That's where disappointment usually happens. The best way to think about supplements is this: they can support the process, but they cannot replace the process. And when used intelligently, they absolutely have a place in a well structured fitness and nutrition plan. Now, here is the deeper lesson behind the pyramid. It's not just about nutrition, it's about prioritization. In fitness, people constantly focus on low impact details because the basics are repetitive. The basics are not sexy. No one wants to hear eat enough protein, sleep properly, train consistently, manage calories, walk more, repeat for years. But that's exactly what works. The fitness industry often survives by convincing people that they are one missing hack away from transformation. But most transformations happen through relentless consistency with fundamentals. That's why this framework is powerful. It protects you from distraction. Whenever you feel confused about nutrition, ask, am I majoring in the minors? Am I worrying about meal timing while overeating daily? Am I buying supplements while ignoring protein intake? Am I obsessing over gluten while sleeping 5 hours? Because once you understand the hierarchy, nutrition becomes much simpler. Not easy, but simpler. So how do you actually apply this? Here is a very practical way to think about it. Step 1, get control over calorie intake. Step 2, prioritize protein. Step 3, improve food quality. Eat more whole foods, eat more fiber, eat fruits, and eat vegetables. Step 4, once all of this is consistent, then optimize meal timing if needed. And finally, use supplements strategically, not emotionally. That's it. Not glamorous, not trendy, but incredibly effective. And if you've been stuck for a long time, chances are you don't need more complexity. You probably need better consistency with the bottom layers of the pyramid. At the end of the day, the Eric Helms Nutrition Pyramid is valuable because it teaches people how to think, not just what to eat. It teaches you that all nutrition variables are not equally important. And honestly, once you understand that, you stop getting distracted by every new trend on social media. You stop chasing magic. You stop searching for the perfect diet, and you start focusing on what actually moves the needle. Calories, protein, food quality, consistency, recovery time. That's where real transformation happens. Not in hacks, not in detoxes, not in miracle supplements. The basics done relentlessly well. That's the real secret. And most people still underestimate how powerful that is. If you enjoyed this breakdown, share it with someone who's overcomplicating nutrition right now. And more importantly, before trying to optimize the top of the pyramid, make sure you've earned the right by mastering the bottom of the pyramid.